welcome back once again to Joe the Shirt's Smooth Jazz. Okay, no, it's not Joe the Shirt's Smooth Jazz. Just seems like one, that's all. What is that noise that's making so much... Okay, that's better. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. I am your host. I am Joe the Shirt, and ew, be careful. Don't step in the Dane Cook. Today, I'm not going to bury the lead as usual. Before I get into the lead, let us give thanks to one Luis Romano's Quartet. They are providing today's music. That was their first song of the evening, Sync. And welcome to midnight. Time for a homicide. My lethal weapon's my mind. That's Ice-T, motherfuckers. Anyway. Dane Cook. Why am I being pissy with one Dane Cook? Well, because Dane Cook is a little bitch. Now, before I get fully into the story, please understand that when I talk about Dane Cook, I'm not talking about him in the way that you might. Okay? We're not talking about somebody that I've never met, that I don't know, that I have no connection to whatsoever. No. If some of you remember, I was a stand-up comic for the better part of 15 years or more, actually. And in my time on the open mic circuit here in Los Angeles and on the road, I did, in fact, encounter Dane Cook. I actually met Dane Cook on several occasions way back when I first moved out to Los Angeles. We were both just a couple of comics doing the open mics around L.A. back in the old Coconut Teaser. Nobody knows what that place is anymore because that place doesn't exist anymore. Coconut Teaser was a club, really just a really cool bar, not a club. It was a bar, okay? But it was a really big bar over on Sunset Boulevard and Crescent Heights. And it was just among the coolest places in town. I mean, it was just a rough, nasty, dirty, seedy bar. That's what it was, man. And they used to do open mics there every Monday. And it was a weird, eclectic mix because they would have music, poets, and stand-up comics. And it was just insane. It was the most bizarre, awesome place to do stand-up comedy. It really was. And we would regularly get big-time comics and big-time celebrities and big-time musicians that would come in and they would work out like new songs or new bits. It was so fucking cool. And of course, as being a comic, all comics, we all complained and bitched and moaned about how things were run there. But the fact of the matter is, the place was great. I loved it. And there was an accident on that intersection of Sunset and Crescent Heights each and every single fucking Monday because we would all show up early. I mean, really early. Like, to get a spot at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, we would show up at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon and sign up for our spots. So, and we would just be hanging out and waiting there and waiting for a car to just smash into another car or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. And it happened every fucking Monday. I'm sure it happened every other day as well, but I was only hanging out there on Mondays because that's when the open mic was. And that's where I met Dane Cook. Dane Cook, much like myself and every other stand-up comic I knew back then, and, comics that you know right now, that you see on TV, or you pay good money to go see at the club, people I was performing with, he showed up there, and I didn't like his set then. Okay, this is a guy I met 15 fucking years ago. Okay, this is somebody I knew. I didn't like his set. I didn't like his comedy. I thought that he panned to the audience, which is perfectly acceptable from a business point of view. From a stand-up comic point of view, that makes you a little bitch. But, that neither here nor there, all right? And like I said, I met Dane Cook. I didn't like his set. I didn't like him in general. We hung out a little bit. I'm not going to be one of those people that tells you that, me and Dane Cook used to hang out all the time. No, we didn't, okay? We didn't like each other. He didn't like me. I didn't like him. And because I'm not famous, I'm sure he doesn't remember me at all. And that's fine. Bitter and angry, party of me. But the fact is that I did know him on some level. That is the point I am trying to make here. And Dane Cook is in the news as of yesterday morning, it being today morning, June 2nd. And before I get any further into this Dane Cook rant, I am going to do celebrity birthdays. Lots of them. I mean, tons of them. I'm talking about a week's worth of them, all right? Because I ignored them so much. Okay. Starting from Monday, May 26th, okay? Also known as Memorial Day. If you were born on May 26th, you share a birthday with such notables as the one and only John fucking Wayne, Miles fucking Davis, and Al fucking Jolson. And I love this one personally. Peter fucking Cushing. Now, a lot of you are wondering, who the fuck is Peter fucking Cushing? Peter fucking Cushing, or Peter Cushing, is a very, very famous horror actor. He played Dracula. He's also appeared in Star Wars movies, Lord of the Ring movies. You know what? You've seen Peter Cushing. You know Peter Cushing. You just don't remember who he is right now. And also, you share a birthday on May 26th with the one and only Jack Kevorkian. Jack fucking Kevorkian, that's right. The suicide doctor. Now, along with these guys, you also might share birthdays with one Lenny Kravitz, he's 49. Stevie Nicks, she's 65. Helena Bonham Carter is 47. Philip Thomas, he's 64. You might remember him from his Miami Vice days. He was Tubbs. Pam Grier, the hot and sexy Pam Grier, is 64. Hank Williams is 64. Matt Stone of South Park fame, that's right, is 42. Let's see. Bobcat Goldthwait is 51. Masaharu Morimoto is 58. He is an Iron Chef on TV's Iron Chef America. And going back to Al Jolson real quick. Al Jolson, you may have heard his name. He's an actor. He's a performer of sorts. He's a great, famous guy. But what you may not know is that he starred in the very first talkie film ever. The very first film that involved sound from the actors in 1927 in a little movie called The Jazz Singer. There you go. A little knowledge, a little trivia for all you guys out there. Moving along, before I get back to Dane Cook, I'm going to do one more birthday series, that being May 27th, with the one and only Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee, again, another very famous Dracula actor, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I mean, this guy is still alive, all right? Lou Gossett Jr. is 77. Todd Bridges, Different Strokes fame, 48 years old. Let's see, Jack McBrayer. I think I've done this one before. Is 40. He's the guy that plays Kenneth on 30 Rock. Adam Carolla is 49. He looks 69. Joseph Fiennes, actor, is 43. Richard Schiff is 58 for all you West Wing fans. And other people that share today's birthday would be the one and only, the inimitable Vincent Price, Wild Bill Hickok, and golf legend Sam Snead. That's right, bitches. It's a lot of great birthdays from May 26th and May 27th. And we're going to do more birthdays as the show progresses. Now, let's get back to filleting Dane Cook. Okay, so Dane Cook is from Boston. That's what I've heard, okay? He's from Boston. Dane Cook, in my opinion, has always been a no-talent hack. And that's fine. All right? I didn't like Dane Cook when I met him. I don't like him now. I don't like what he does. But this is particularly special, all right? Dane Cook was doing a charity event for Boston, for the Boston bombing that occurred not too long ago, during the Boston Marathon. And a bunch of Boston homegrown talent all got together to do a charity event that was put on pay-per-view over the internet, so you could watch them, and listen to them. And we're talking about people like Aerosmith, okay? People Carol Channing, you know, we're talking about some big names out there, and you know, one of the homegrown comics from there was, of course, Dane Cook, and everybody was getting together and having a good time and trying to, you know, collect money for Boston. Now, what happened here was, at first, if you were watching this on the internet, you were really pissed off because, God fucking damn it, the internet's fucked up. You know, I can't see or hear what Aerosmith is doing. You know, I can't figure it out. What's going on? And you probably clicked a bunch of things and turned your computer off and turned it back on, and you're trying to figure out why the fuck can't I see Aerosmith and Dane Cook? What's going on? And there were problems, okay? Now, if you were watching the event and you happen to notice that they introduced Dane Cook and then your computer went dead for a while, you might be thinking, well, shit, the internet connection's all fucked up again. They're having some issues. They're having some problems, and I can't watch Dane Cook throw water on himself again or rip off his T-shirt and show us his pectorals and abdominals again. Well, no, that's not what happened. Dane Cook went out of his way to let the producers of the show know that, by the way, yeah, I'm going to be doing this for charity, and I'm going to be performing, but I have a comedy special coming up, and I'm doing a bunch of new material that I'm doing tonight, and I don't want to do it tonight. So when I go on stage, make sure to take me off the internet. Just make sure that when I'm on, just, you know, don't show me, don't give me any audio of me. Make sure that I'm not, you know, you can't see or hear me, because I want to make sure that's available for my next special, probably on HBO. Who knows? More on that when I come back on Dane Cook. Ew, don't step in the Dane Cook. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff. And here is Luis Romano's quartet with their music, Old Soul. night. Time for homicide. Once again, my lethal weapon is my mind. For Joe the Shirts, off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here bitching and moaning about the one and only Dane Cook, who was not cool enough to let his new material be aired for the charity event of his hometown of Boston. What was really funny is the fact that at the end of the event, he's up on stage with Aerosmith. He's wearing his, his Boston jersey. He's like singing, he's dancing along with Aerosmith, all over Boston. And he's having a good old time, but he doesn't even realize that at that point everybody knows what he did, and they are tweeting all over the place, letting everybody know what a dick he fucking is. And like I said, this is personal to me because I actually know Dane Cook. I've performed with Dane Cook many times, and I've dealt with him. I've talked to him, and I didn't fucking like him back then, and I like him even less now. You know what? I understand his point of view. I really do. When you're a stand-up comic, one of your ultimate goals is to get on television, be it one of the networks or one of the cable channels, have your own special, be on Comedy Central, go on The Tonight Show, whatever the fuck. You want to get on television. Believe me, you do. Because that's where the real money is when it comes to stand-up comics. I mean, a lot of stand-up comics make their bread and butter by going on the road, and the road is an incredibly horrible, horrible fucking place to be. Unless, of course, you happen to be single, enjoy drugs, drinking, and fucking random women. Which I do, but it's a hard life when you happen to be married. And have a home, maybe kids. It's a little tough on you. So the Twitterverse has been a Twitter over Dane Cook and what a dick he is. There are like about 1 billion different jokes for you out there to look up and check out. Dane Cook has apologized for this and says that, he looks forward to showing off his new material on his next special. I wonder if we're going to be as forgiving by then. I was a stand-up comic for a long, long time, and I am somewhat involved in show business. I'm not forgiving. Quite simply, show business people, we're not forgiving unless it makes us money. If it doesn't make us money, you can go fuck yourself. Or as my girlfriend likes to say, you can go fry ice. Incredibly difficult, by the by. Now, you know what? If it was another type of event, I could accept what Dane Cook did. But because it's a charity event for Boston after the Boston Marathon bombing, and it's his home fucking town, I am less than forgiving right here, and you should be as well. You know what? Fuck Dane Cook. The truth of the matter is, he's not that funny to fucking begin with. But that's neither here nor there. I think you should just boycott anything he does just for what he did at the Boston charity event. In any case, we have more celebrity birthdays coming up. I got like a week's worth to catch up on, so you guys got to listen in, all right? Okay, if you happen to be born May 28th, you share birthdays with Gladys Knight, who is 69, Kylie Minogue, who is 45, Michael Oher, who's 27. You're thinking to yourself, who the fuck is Michael Oher? Well, did you see The fucking Blind Side? The gigantic black guy? The actor? No, the actual person, the football player, the real guy, Michael Oher, is 27. John Fogerty is 68. Jerry West, NBA legend, and the logo on any NBA gear is 75. Ex-New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is 69. And you might actually share a birthday on this day with the one and only Ian Fleming, the creator of Bond. James Bond. Moving along, we're going on to May 29th. Like I said, I got a lot of shit to go through here. Okay, if you were born on May 29th, you share a birthday with the one and only Carmelo Anthony, who on May 29th turns 29. Go figure. You share a birthday with Daniel Tosh, who's 38, who I think, again, also overrated. LaToya Jackson is 57. The one and only, let's see, Annette Bening is 55. Melissa Etheridge is 52. Lisa Whelchel, you're thinking to yourself again, who the fuck is Lisa Whelchel? Well, you remember Blair from The Facts of Life? Yeah, well, duh. That whore is 50. Danny Elfman is 60. Adrian Paul, another one we were thinking, who the fuck is Adrian Paul? Well, he was on Highlander, the series. He was a brunette dude with the ponytail. He is 54. And Rupert Everett is also 54. And if you happen to be born on May 29th, you also share birthdays with a couple of other very famous people. The one and only Patrick Henry. I know a lot of you ignorant savages are thinking, who the fuck is Patrick Henry? Hell, even my girlfriend was thinking today, who the fuck is Patrick Henry? I know the name, but don't know why. He is famous for the quote, give me liberty or give me death. The one and only John F. Kennedy, I think you may have heard of that guy. And even more important to me, Bob Hope, born May 29th. Okay, what are we talking about now? We are talking a little bit about animal rights. Just a wee bit. Just a little bit, okay? Hold on here. Let me grab my stories. I need to grab my stories. Mama need to grab her stories because Mama don't get her stories. She just don't know what the hell is going on. Let me grab my stories. Before I get into my stories, let me get into something that my mother told me when I was a kid. I asked her where rain came from, and she lied to me. She said, rain is when God cries. Wow, that is fucked up, Ma. Especially when she said that God cries when little children do bad things. I'm like, 8 fucking years old, Ma. What the fuck is wrong with you? Well, you know what? If rain is God crying, then I gotta think that tornadoes is God farting. And can God stop farting all over fucking Oklahoma? More tornadoes. Thursday and Friday. More fucking You know, I'm sorry, Kevin Durant doesn't have that much money to donate. I mean, really, he's rich, but he's not that fucking rich. He can't just donate $1 million every time a fucking tornado hits Oklahoma and Missouri. Jesus Christ. I actually know people in Missouri. I've had sex with people in Missouri. You know, we just can't go around sending them money every fucking time a tornado hits. You know, you live in Tornado Alley or whatever the fuck it is. You need to move. Any case, though. Over in the county of Little Rock, here in California, there's been a lot of talk about dog maulings. Now, let me give you a little background before I get into what actually happened here. Little Rock is one of those Antelope Valley towns that melts into the desert, a place of few people but many dogs. Houses surrounded by chain-link fences bear the, quote, no trespassing and beware of dog signs, end quote. A chorus of barks and growls greets people as passers-by. Apparently what typically happens in this town is that, quote, a car will come down the street at 40 miles per hour, slow down, a door will open, a dog will be pushed out, it will tumble once or twice and let out a yelp, and then the car will just take the fuck off. Apparently, the Antelope Valley, Little Rock, is very popular for dumping your dog. Okay. I'm sure you're wondering, what the hell am I talking about this for? Well, I'm getting to it. Stop being a bitch. It has become a problem. Neighbors say that they carry sticks, rocks, and guns with them when they go for walks because of all the strays all over the town. Now, but the problem is that isn't just strays. The problem is people that actually have dogs own them, but let them do whatever the fuck they want. That brings us to the story of one Alex Donald Jackson, 29 years old. He is in jail right now. He's going to court, and he's up on murder charges. Why is Alex on murder charges is the question, right? Well, because of Pamela Devitt. Pamela Devitt was a woman, excuse me, who's no longer with us. She was 63 years old. She was taking a walk one day, about 9:30 in the morning, when she liked to take a walk. Her husband was at work. He was actually coming home from a midnight shift, a graveyard shift, as it's called. How apropos. When she was attacked by several pit bulls owned by, look at that, Alex Jackson. The dogs, much like a lot of other dogs in this Antelope Valley area, were very aggressive, were very authoritative. They felt that they had the right to do whatever they wanted to, unlike most dogs. And they mauled her ass to death. The retired office manager suffered roughly 200 puncture wounds at the hands of these dogs. These dogs were so aggressive that by the time the sheriff's deputy showed up to address the situation, there was still one dog there, still biting the old bitch. Sheriff's deputy shot at him. The dog took off, shot at him again. The dog just ran into the desert, and then was later found at Alex Jackson's home, along with the rest of his compatriots, where they took possession of all the dogs. There were 8 of them, 6 pit bulls and 2 pit bull mixes. Tested them for DNA samplings and found that 4 of those dogs had Pamela Devitt's blood on them. They arrested Alex because of this. And I'm going to be talking about this just a little bit more, actually, or a lot bit more, depending on my fucking mood. But before then, we're going to have a little more music now with, let's see, more of Louis Romano's Quartet and his song, Home Again. I'm Joe the Shirt, I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back. And welcome back once again to Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. Alright, welcome back everybody. We were talking about dog maulings and one Alex Jackson and his 8 dogs. Now, before I get too far into this, I just wanted to let you all know I am not one of those people that believe that pit bulls are innately evil, vicious, violent dogs. They're not. How do I know this? Because I own one. He is the biggest fucking pussy on the planet. Okay, my dog Jack, he's 60 pounds of teeth and muscle. And when he gets excited, your balls will go up into your ass and hide. Trust me on this one. But that's when he's excited because he's happy to see you and he wants to play and he wants to lick you in the face and he wants you to throw the fucking ball and he wants you to like pull on his leash so he can play tug of war. And that's my dog Jack, okay? So, for when I first moved into where I currently live with my girlfriend M, we were here for a good 9 months before anybody seemed to notice that Jack also lived here with us. I had people come up to me and say, so, are you visiting? I'm like, no. Is this dog visiting? I'm like, no, he's my dog. He lives here with us. And we had to have meetings. We had to have board meetings and, member meetings in the building where people came together and, aired out their issues about the dog. Now, here's the funny part. No individual came forward with any specific complaints. Why? Because Jack never did anything. He didn't attack anybody. He didn't bite anybody. He didn't take a shit in the middle of the hallway, which other dogs have done, by the way. Or in the courtyard, which other dogs have done, by the way. Or taking a piss anywhere. Jack doesn't do those things. Other people's dogs do those things. Much smaller, allegedly passive dogs do those things. Jack has never done anything. Why? Because Jack is trained just well enough to know that he shouldn't do things. And there are children in this building, okay? We're talking children less than a year old, just a couple of months old. And if Jack ever exhibited any aggressive behavior towards these children, I would have to break Jack's neck. That's what I would do because I wouldn't let him hurt anybody. But Jack has never done that. He's never shown any aggression. He's actually afraid of children. He's afraid of Chihuahuas and Yorkies and Pomeranians. He's a total pussy when it comes anything that's smaller than him with a high-pitched voice. He doesn't know what to do with. He runs. He puts the tail between the legs and runs away. So on that count, I've never been worried. I remember when I adopted Jack. His owners, a British couple, were concerned that I would try to train him to be aggressive. And I'm like, you know what? My dick's big enough. I don't need a big aggressive dog. I just wanted a dog. I was going through a divorce. I was in a bad place. And I needed somebody that acted like they loved me no matter what I did. Obviously, women weren't the way to go at the time. So I went with a dog. And you know what? He hasn't failed me once. Not one time has Jack ever failed me. So before anybody, I'm going to get into my next segment here, and it's going to sound like I'm anti-dog. I'm not, okay? I really am not. I love dogs. I'm the biggest proponent of dogs in human society in the world. But then you have dog owners. Dog owners are a completely different breed. Dog owners a lot of times suck. Alex Jackson, since January, there had been 5 complaints against him for aggressive behavior about his dogs. Dogs attacking people, dogs attacking livestock, dogs attacking other pets, dogs attacking horses. And to the point where Alex Jackson himself threw rocks at people's horses to keep them away from his dogs who were attacking the horses. Alex Jackson is up on charges of murder. Now, unlike a lot of people, I have a working knowledge of the term murder. I majored in criminal justice when I was in college. I'm by no means an expert. Okay, so if you're a lawyer out there and you're listening to me and you're thinking, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, you know what? You can go fuck yourself. Listen to another show. I don't give a shit about your opinion. But I have a decently working knowledge of the term murder. Murder requires intent. In my opinion, that's what murder requires. Everything else is manslaughter. There's a difference. When you murder somebody, you had intent. You wanted to kill them. It was your intention to kill them. And then you have your degrees of murder. You know why there's a difference between first degree, second degree murder? It's because of intent. You intended to kill this person. Maybe it was in a fit of rage. Maybe it was because you saw them dinging your car and you went out and killed them. But when it comes to first degree murder, they usually reserve that for two types of cases. The first one being you killed a police officer. I gotta tell you, your local DA's office and police department really hates it when you kill cops. They really, really, really hate it, and they love assigning first-degree murder on anybody that kills a cop. Quite honestly, if you kill a cop and you actually make it to the trial before other cops kill you, you are incredibly lucky. The other case requires intent and planning. First-degree murder involves you know somebody, you hate them for whatever reason, or you were paid to kill them, and you planned out a situation where you could kill them and try to get away with it. Okay, there you go. That's first degree. Second degree usually involves, a crime of passion. You get home and you find your husband fucking another dude. Well, you know what? Bitch, that shit don't stand. So you kill that guy. Or maybe you kill your husband. All right. After that, you have cases that become known as manslaughter, where let's say you're at a bar and some guy gives you some static, you give it a little bit back, you get into a little scuffle, you get into a bar brawl, you're fighting, and you accidentally hit him a little too hard or maybe push him a little too hard, and he cracks his head on a bar stool, and he dies. That's manslaughter. It was accidental. You didn't mean for it to happen, but you were in a bar brawl. You're not going to back down for some bitch in the bar, right? You got to let them know who's the man. Now, when it comes to murder charges involving a dog, it gets a little skewed, mostly because there's no intent involved. What has to be proven here is that the owner, in this case, one being Alex Jackson, knew that his dogs were a menace, knew that they were a danger, and also knew that there were other occurrences of his dogs attacking people, causing injury, attacking other animals and causing injury, being a menace in general. And then his dogs go off and kill somebody, and well, there you go. Now, here, to me, I find this hysterical. I find this really, really funny because, now, as I've already told you, Alex Jackson, his dogs had been reported on 5 times since January of this year. People had complained to animal control and the police about his dogs since January, 5 different times. And I'm sure there were other incidences that were not reported during this time. And during that time, animal control did nothing. Now, in my opinion, and I'll be straightforward with you, if my dog Jack accidentally bites me or my girlfriend, which he's been known to do because he likes to play on the leash, he likes to tug on it, he likes to nip at it, he gets excited, and he's caused me and her to bleed a couple of times, but he was just having fun. He doesn't know his own strength. He doesn't know, that we're not built the way he is. That's fine. Okay, but if Jack, does this with somebody else, I will yank his ass back and put his ass on the ground until he calms down. Because, I had a friend of mine, my buddy Dean, he was in his 70s, and my girlfriend's mother, she was in her 70s. They couldn't be around Jack because Jack wanted to play with them, and their skin was made out of tissue paper because they were in their fucking 70s, all right? And thus, I don't let Jack go near small children, ever. Even though he has nothing against them, he's a little scared of them, and when he gets to know them, he wants to play with them. I don't let my nieces and nephews go near Jack, especially if they're on the small side, like my like my niece Hazel, or Ivani. I don't let them go near Jack, But my nephew Mikhail, you know what? He's a bruiser of a little kid. I'm not worried about him at all. or my niece. What's my other niece's name, babe? I have so many. What's my niece's name? The blonde one. This is so bad. I feel so bad now. Shania, yes, my niece Shania. My niece Shania, she's about 13 years old. She's built like a linebacker. I'm not worried about her being around my dog. But that's what he said. You have to take personal responsibility for what's going on. If Jack ever did anything that hurt somebody, seriously, then I know that Jack has to be put down. That's not a scenario I look forward to, but I do understand it. If Jack causes any real damage to anybody, he's got to go. And that's what happened with Alex Jackson. He had a history, and that's what they're proving here. The fact that he had a history of his dogs being violent, being a menace, attacking people and other animals. And I still don't see it as murder. Because in my mind, murder requires intent. You may remember about a decade ago in San Francisco, there was a woman that was killed by a pair of Canary Island dogs. The owners of these dogs were convicted of murder and manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter on the husband, and murder for the wife. I don't know why they made the distinction. They were both their dogs. The dogs had been known to be a menace before, had attacked other people before, had threatened other people before. I don't see it as murder. Technically, legally, I don't see it that way. I see it as a very, very bad situation. At the same time, I do believe that people that own these type of animals that do not take the precautions to keep them under control, keep them on a leash, keep them on your property, within your fenced area or within your home, you know what? That's a problem. When I take Jack out for a walk, he has his leash on, his choker on, and he has a muzzle on. And believe me, that pissed me off for the longest fucking time. But I keep it on him these days, and I keep that leash short. He's got maybe 8 inches to work with when we're going out of our apartment and going downstairs to go outside. And I do that for his protection, not the protection of other people, because I'm afraid that people are going to react badly when they see him, and they're going to get scared, and they might kick him or hit him with something heavy. So I'm doing it for his protection, not theirs. Jack's the kind of dog that if you start to hit him, he'll just curl up and die from you beating him. One time we were out in front of a drugstore, me and my girlfriend, and there was a homeless person there who was menacing towards my dog because I tied him off there so we can go inside and buy some stuff. And she started yelling and coming at my dog in a menacing way, and she's lucky I didn't fucking kill her. I don't see this as murder, but I do see him as being responsible. There's the difference. And that is it for me for today, actually. We're going to get out of here with more music from Louis Romanos Quartet, their song Witch's Brew. Thank you for listening. I know it's been late, but I am back, and I do have more to talk about in about another half hour, so just tune in, okay? I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff.